What's up, y'all? It's Jeff Cobb, and you're listening to Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show on Social Suplex Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Listener discretion is advised at all times.
Thank you once again for downloading and listening to another episode of the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show, part of the Social Suplex Podcast Network. My name's Clive and I'm joined this evening by Ricky. How are you tonight, sir?
Yeah, good evening. I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm okay. I found a £1 coin in my slipper when I came home today. That was quite a nice turn of fortune for me.
Yeah, it's like when you find change in a random pair of jeans or a jacket you've not worn in a while.
Mm-hmm. I know it's only a £1 coin, but I might buy a scratch card with that tomorrow and see what fortune Lady Luck brings for me again tomorrow and just keep it going.
Probably none.
Oh, thanks for your vote of confidence. Is that a snood you've got on?
No. It is. It's a grey hoodie with a snood attached to it.
It's becoming that time of year where snoods are a necessity rather than just a fashion statement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why it's a necessity sitting in my front room with the heating on at the moment, but, you know, it's not that cold. But yes, snoods will be brought out very, very shortly.
Mm-hmm. We've not got much to talk about tonight, have we? Because
no, you can clearly tell we're talking about fucking fashion here.
Oh, we always talk about fashion on this show.
We do.
But
folks, hit me up if you want some fashion advice.
This guy wore bin bags for trousers or pants one week on the podcast that we did.
I was just trying to get an opinion on what people felt about it.
Right. So back to us not having much to talk about tonight. We're in between pay-per-views, nothing to preview, nothing to review. There has been some instances on Raw and SmackDown. Why don't we touch on Brie Bella? Should she be fired for her deliberately violent actions on Liv Morgan this week?
I'll let you start on it.
Well, accidents happen. We've seen it in many guises over the years. More recently we've had the likes of Seth Rollins, Nakamura, injuring people in the process of their sport. So it does happen, but this is hot off the heels of Brie Bella botching a suicide dive in recent weeks as well. So in terms of quantity, it's not really going well for her at the moment, and I wouldn't really want to see her wrestle again anytime in the very near future.
Yeah, I've never wanted to see her wrestle anyway.
There is that.
Like, for instance, when two Bellas, when they first came in, like, they were just useless, absolutely useless. To give Nikki some credit, she actually has improved. Now, not saying, you know, she's one of the better female wrestlers, or she is up there or anything, but she definitely has improved, and if no one can see that, then you're lying, or you're letting your hatred get in the way. But Brie just hasn't seemed to improve at all. Like you say, she had a couple of botches. She had the dive where she really put herself in harm's way. A few weeks back, she also had that little moment where she got sort of catapulted towards... who was it now?
Maurice?
No, on Monday Night Raw there. Now, which member of the Riot Squad was it?
Liv Morgan?
No, it was... I can't remember. It certainly wasn't Liv Morgan. It must have been Sarah Logan that catapulted her. I think this was actually I'm not sure if it was before or after the Liv incident. Anyway, she's come in like full force and caught her right in the face, and then you obviously had the Liv Morgan thing. That, like, it was probably the first kick right before where she kicks her knees her into the head, because it seemed like she just picked up the speed just, out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
And that kind of caught Liv by surprise, and as she's come back down, bang, she's caught her. But like you said, accidents happen and stuff, and I can get that. But when it starts to happen more often than not, like, it can no longer be classed as an accident. It's just you're sloppy or you're dangerous. But the worst thing about that incident was that she then proceeds to start carrying her by her hair or picking her up by her neck, and it's like, I can kind of get she might have been in a bit of a panic and trying to like get her as close to the turnbuckle or to her corner as possible to sort of get her tagged out. But for fuck's sake, everybody knows you don't fucking do that. Like, it's a head injury. You don't grab them by the neck. Like, you can try and pick her up if you want, or that for me was bad. The fact that they let Liv go on and take the triple suplex spot as well, it's like somebody pull her out of the fucking damn match. And I saw people tweeting things that like, oh well, people would have been pissed off if this match got stopped, like, and they referred back to remember Samoa Joe when he got cut.
Yes, that's right.
And so then people refer to that, and it's like, right, okay, well, this is a concussion. This happens on a regular basis to boxers, but specifically American football players. And for the most part, I understand, like, some American football players, they try and hide as much as they can just to come back in, but they're taken out of it and they're kind of put in concussion protocol. And it's like, someone had to have made that call where you goes, not like, fine, we understand you've got massive fortitude and massive grapefruits, but you're not continuing this match and should have got her out of it. That to me was the most shocking part of it all, that someone let her continue. And if you want to be like, they want to be treated like a real sport, well, fucking treat your people, your wrestlers, your employees
They should
properly.
have just stopped it as like straight away, because she was clearly out of it.
And at first glance, it kind of looked like Brie helped her arm up to like help her kick out, but I need to go back and watch it, so I don't know, maybe if Liv still had that tiny bit of whereabouts about her and somehow managed to get her arm up just in time. And if that's the case, massive credit to her, but completely unnecessary for her to take that next bump and for her to have been dragged around the ring the way she was. Like, someone, I know the referee tried to get her to stop, but just throw up the damn fucking X sign. Someone just put an end to the match, because it was, like I say, that's dangerous. And like I say, if you want to be taken serious, like you want to be like taken serious like a proper sport, other sports won't let that kind of stuff happen.
No. It reminds me a bit of a couple of years ago when Enzo Amore got snapshotted out of the ring against the Vaudevillains, and Simon Gotch went to try and manhandle him after the fact that he basically was decapitated.
Yeah, that's right. And that was from what I remember, I'm pretty certain that was Enzo's own fault.
What was?
When he basically sort of got catapulted right into the rope.
Well, we'll blame Enzo anyway. We're allowed to blame him.
I need to go back and see the incident again, but I can't. But yeah, like, I've seen a lot of people talking about the Seth Rollins incidents in the Joe. Joe was hitting that manoeuvre every week in Impact and TNA or whatnot, and it was just unfortunate that move happened to hurt Tyson Kidd. Seth Rollins had the Cena incident and then the Sting incident, and I know a lot of people are saying that, oh well, is it just coming down to because she's a female, people are picking on it? I don't think so. I think she's had a history of really having quite a lot of botches and just being a very average to pretty shite wrestler. Like I says, not a fan of her. I think her in-ring work's extremely sloppy. But actually, for me, the biggest thing about it was like Liv was actually allowed to continue.
Well, they've got to make changes for Super Showdown, but I think I've got an idea for how they can salvage what happened with Brie Bella in time for Evolution. So, you know how you've got the rumours that Nikki Bella will face Ronda Rousey?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just replace Nikki with Brie, and she can adopt a new gimmick where she's basically a sort of shoot fighter. So that's because she's going about giving people Brie triggers, as I'm going to call them, kneeing them in the face, and just no regard for her fellow opponent, just going full shoot mode, and like dresses up like Matt Riddle. She comes in with bare feet and stuff like that.
And we're going off on a tangent, but speaking of Matt Riddle, I don't know if you saw, did you see it on Twitter? The pair of shorts he was wearing, I think it was like an NXT house show or something.
Right.
Turns out he was wearing these wife shorts, and it was like, very envious of a man who's that comfortable in his sexuality. It's like, you're the fucking man.
I've not seen this. I'll need to have a check on it.
I'll find it and send it to you. But going back to Brie, it's not even. I don't think it's not even. It seems like there's malice or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's just
carelessness.
That's exactly what it is. Just not nice. Not nice to watch or pretty to watch in the fucking ring at all. Right, where the fuck are these?
Please excuse our taking some time.
Right, I found it.
You found it? Right, send it to me. I want to see these bad boys.
They're just fucking spectacular.
What kind of shots?
Right. Oh, it's incoming, a message incoming, just you wait and see. Oh, why am I sending that? There you go. It's been sent.
It's like a swimwear model.
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
See, what are they going to do with him and his bare feet? Surely they can't continue with that. That's going to be a gimmick that they'll have to change.
Well, remember, for Rusev for a while, wrestled barefoot.
Uh-huh.
And that was one of the things that really made him stand out when he first came up. I think they will. It's his thing, and like he says, it makes him stand out. Like, so for people who may not be aware of him, like, they're going to see that straight away and so like, oh well, that's different. I hope they don't, because it's kind of unique to who he is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I've got nothing else to say on the Brie incident. It was, look, for me, just to paraphrase everyone who says, it was unnecessary. It was what happened in the aftermath of the kick was inexplicable. Someone has to answer for that, in my mind. But yeah, just very, very careless from Brie, in my mind.
Mm-hmm. It was careless. Brings to mind a few other instances where people are just careless in the ring, but there's others who are malice, like when Perry Saturn went to town on Mike Bell years ago. Do you remember that at all?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you've got the I can't remember, her name escapes me. The woman in the Mexican promotion. My God, what was her name again?
Sexy Star.
Yes. She's been involved in several incidents, so there's just malice behind her actions. But like we say, for Brie, it was just careless, and But like I said, what took place after the kick or the knee, that for me was the bigger incident out of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like how it boggles my mind how you're able to let her continue. And I understand that wrestlers are wanting to do it, and I understand that a lot of people are going to look at her and say, great, like, going to have even more respect for her and appreciate how tough she actually is. But see, at the end of the day, like, you kind of know how tough some of these folk are when they get in there anyway and take some of these bumps, but there's just no need to continue when someone's clearly concussed and just completely dazed. Because her body, she just went limp straight away.
I know.
Like, you just saw the way she hit, and then the way Brie had to try and drag her along along the ring. It was just uncomfortable viewing.
It was. Speaking of uncomfortable viewing from a kayfabe point of view, the only other sort of thing of note that happened in Raw this week on both sets of TV actually was this whole thing with Dean Ambrose having whispers in his ear from Drew and Dolph. Too many D's going on in this one. Drew and Dolph, I said that right, didn't I? Have been whispering in Dean's ear about saying they don't want you. You don't need the Shield as much as the Shield needs you. trying to get him to betray him. Do you think? I don't know if that actually means that Dean's going to betray them.
I mean, someone's going to turn on someone at some point.
Aye.
And I think it will be Dean. That image of Seth and Roman holding up their titles and Dean just sort of lingering in the background, that
broke your heart.
It really did. That was difficult to see. Very difficult to watch. Now I understand that's part of the storyline, and I texted into our WhatsApp group saying that this Shield breakup or the Dean turn is going to be beautiful to watch, but at the same time heartbreaking. And then when you see incidents like that, and then obviously at the end where the match is finished and Dean's just sort of kind of like in his own wee world in a daze and stuff, and then it's almost like, is he going to go back in and do the Shield pose or whatnot? And he does. So it's a slow burn. It's going to happen, like I said, at some point. I don't want it happening just yet or anytime soon. I think you can drag this out. Not dragging out, it's not the right word, but you can prolong this storyline for a few months longer, I think. But like I say, I think Dean is ultimately probably going to turn on one of them and be like, I want my title, sort of thing. Like I said, but it was really upsetting to see from a kayfabe point of view. Just it was.
See,
felt bad for him.
I don't think anything's going to happen for a wee while, because I know you've got the Super Showdown, or as Braun Strowman called it this week, the Super Show. He just blacked out for half a second at that point. He muddled his words. The Super Showdown's happening on October the 6th, but there's nothing main roster pay-per-view wise for the guys until Survivor Series, is that right?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time. You're talking nearly 2 months before you've got a standard pay-per-view again. There's plenty of things that can do in that time, and as we've talked about on this show in the past, like when they don't have a pay-per-view to work towards, sometimes the TV can actually be good and work out better for everyone. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that in the future.
And the Raw this week was quite good as well.
Aye.
Main event was good. Tag title match was good. You obviously had that talking point from that 6-woman match. So, but yeah, overall it was quite good. And this Super Show, the Melbourne show, is that a week this Friday? So is it 10 days or something? It is
Saturday, I think it is.
Is it? Is it?
Yep, it's 11 o'clock during the day for us.
On a Saturday?
Yep.
Right. So we're about 10 days away from that. Yeah, but like you say, there's no pay-per-views coming up in Survivor Series. You're probably assuming you're going to get the traditional 5-on-5 SmackDown, and then we might get a couple of other tag champs from each show taking on each other, etc. And then I don't see them turning Dean or anyone or breaking the Shield up at the December pay-per-view. I think you run it out to the Royal Rumble, where you either have Dean and Seth finishing it, or you have Dean eliminating Seth, or vice versa or something.
They've got time to do that, definitely. I think.
Yep.
There is every chance now. I know it's all the way in April or March, but there is still every chance that we could get a Shield triple threat for a Universal title.
That's the way I would go, if I'm honest with you. I think there's absolute no need to rush it, because, like you say, there's a number of shows coming up already. Survivor Series, like I say, you'll be in that kind of traditional match, and then, like you say, the Royal Rumble after that, it's only going to be a couple of months away. So there's no real rush. We always have point at WWE don't really have a long-term booking or long-term storyline, and this is one of them. So there's no point or no need to rush this one. Yep. Just let it play out naturally.
That's right. So that's all that really happened on Raw and SmackDown this week, so thanks for listening.
Well, Samoa Joe turning up at AJ Styles' house.
Aye, that's right. Although his name's not Styles, it's Jones, so they must have just found that on a sticker book somewhere. The WWE sticker album.
Samoa Joe continues to be the most horrible bastard on the main roster.
I know. There's going to be a test. There's going to be a sort of Whitechapel wedding with this one, isn't there?
Like, I'm looking forward to that match. That Australia show's shaping up to be real good. There's like 4 matches on it that I'm really looking forward to.
How long do you think it will last?
What, the entire show?
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be like another 4 hours maybe.
4 hours. The Saudi Arabia one lasted 5 hours, didn't it? But that's because you had a 94-man Royal Rumble.
It's a 50-man Royal Rumble, and and it was still the minute between each thing, wasn't it?
I didn't actually. I've never seen that.
Or it was 90 seconds or whatever, I can't remember. But I know the Australia show, because you've got AJ and Joe, Daniel Bryan and Miz, the Shield taking on Braun Strowman, Dolph and Drew.
The Dogs of War.
Yep.
Get the Cruiser title as well. Buddy Murphy in his hometown.
Yep. Thingy, Becky and Charlotte, are they not, as well?
That's shaping up quite nicely. You've got Kevin Owens.
And then, Kevin. Oh, I forget about that match, but
that'll be comedy.
Yep. And then people can say what they want, but The Undertaker Triple H, like, granted, I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be this spectacular match or anything, but that anytime we get to see Undertaker, I'm there for it. I understand he isn't a very good wrestler at the moment, but I'm still there for that match. So that's it. It is shaping up to be a real good show.
Mm-hmm. Is there any more announcements about Evolution's card? Because those rumours seem to have died down quite a bit. They'll need to get a move on if they're wanting to book that show.
I know, but I think once you get this one out of the way, then you're looking at about 3 weeks? And ideally they should have been. It is 3 weeks, and ideally they should have always been promoting it quite heavily. But I think that kind of promotion might go into overdrive after next weekend. But like I say, it's almost as if this is kind of seen as an afterthought at the moment.
It does feel like that. But there's quite a lot of women being grouped up with each other over it. And so maybe if they're not wrestling, they'll be valets or something like that. You've got Ember Moon and Nia Jax and stuff. They're teaming up now. But there's nothing. I know you've got Charlotte and Becky. Is Ronda and Nikki confirmed?
No. That sort of match list, that thing we saw, that thing, that's just absolute bullshit.
Probably. Nothing else?
But I don't. I like to say it's a kind of slow week for us. I don't think there's nothing else really. I enjoyed the Raw tag title match.
Yes, that was good.
I enjoy Sheamus and Big E. So for me, nothing else. But like I said, I thought Raw was pretty good this week. And I'm not going to go over the top of my praise or anything like that, but it was good. And then in terms of SmackDown, we got a couple of more stories developing. Obviously, the Aiden English and Rusev storyline.
The Milwaukee bombshell.
Yep.
Have you seen what's on the Milwaukee Twitter page? No, not Twitter. Wikipedia?
Nope.
Right, hold on a wee minute till I find this. Might not be able to find it straight away. But anyone in Wikipedia can edit stuff.
Yep.
So, this is on Milwaukee's Wikipedia. In the early 21st century, the city is undergoing its largest construction boom since the 1960s. Blah, blah, blah. There are major renovations to the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. On October 24th, 2017, WWE superstar Lana cheated on her husband, WWE superstar Rusev, by having a one-night stand with fellow WWE superstar Aiden English. Coincidentally, this event took place on Rusev Day.
Jeez. Oh, I love Rusev.
Lana doesn't love him as much now.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
Her accent's all over the place, because when she was doing the in-ring promo, she still had that Russian lilt to her, but backstage she was just talking like her normal American self. They're going down the Kofi Kingston route with this one.
I know, but at least they made fun of him losing his accent in one of the New Day segments.
And as well, back in the day.
Speaking of Triple H, did you see the photo Tommaso Ciampa sent out?
Aye, but it was saying that it was
Thor?
Aye, I know. And it's Stephanie McMahon said that he would one day become the greatest sports entertainer of all time.
What a man. What a man.
There's going to be some shenanigans in this Dozovic match tonight, I think. It's such a random match, but I'm excited for it. Right, why don't we play a couple of games?
Okay.
Bring up the joviality of the show instead of just rehashing stuff that didn't really happen in the first place. So, because I knew this would be a quiet week, I did a wee bit of prep, as much as I can prep something as random as this, but we're going to do a best and worst case scenarios game. It's not a quiz as such, it's just what would you do in these situations. So basically what we do is, I'm going to give you a scenario, and if you've got any, you can hit me with some. You can tell me who would be the worst wrestler to be involved in that scenario, as well as the best and the worst, basically. So, for instance, here's an easy one for you. If you're stuck in a lift with a wrestler for a long period of time, like say the lift breaks down, who would your best wrestler be in terms of, right, okay, I'll be here for a couple of hours. This could be a lot worse than this sitting chatting to this wrestler. Or do you want to start with your worst?
The best would probably be. Well, first of all, right, it would be either. This is one of the answers. It would either be the Kane or Undertaker, right? Because I'm stuck in an elevator, and little girl ghosts sometimes reside in the elevator, so if a little girl ghost appears, then at least they can deal with her, and I can just stand in the corner screaming away.
See, the problem that you have if Kane's involved is, like, I didn't specify what time period it was, so if it was the late 90s or early 2000s and Kane has his voice decoder box, would you want to be stuck in a lift with Kane when he speaks like this all the time?
Oh, that's fine. I don't mind that. Let me see. I would probably say who I'd like to be stuck in with. I know a lot of people might raise their eyebrows at this, but I think Bret Hart would be really good, just purely because I think he would have a lot of fucking stories to tell. A lot of stories to tell.
That's a very good shout, actually.
Obviously, if you wanted to go down like someone to keep you entertained or whatever, in a comedy sense, like The Rock or Jericho or Austin or whatever. But I think Bret Hart, like I say, I think we've heard things and his voice, his opinion on some people's, but I think if you manage to sit him down, just the two of you stuck in this lift, Bret Hart would have a lot. I think he would have a lot of things to say about some people, and I think that'd be a good few hours there.
You'd be sitting with the popcorn there and taking notes and stuff.
Yep.
So what about your worst? Like, oh my god, I can't believe this lift's just broken down.
A couple of answers. One of them you might not approve, so I don't know if I'll say it.
It's alright, on you go.
Well, one of them would be Mo Hassan.
The worst?
Oh, because he would try and he would look at me and say, "Oh, a man of my race or ethnicity and same religion, I can maybe get him to do some bad things to the world," and I wouldn't want that.
Maybe you could
wouldn't want that.
Roll the mats out and have a wee prayer though.
That's kind of. I don't like the way you said that. Roll the mats out.
Is that not what you call it? Is that not the hashtag?
Nah, roll the mat.
It's Friday. You know what that means? Hashtag roll the mats out.
Good God. The worst. Maybe someone like late 90s or mid to late 90s Razor Ramon, because I hate him. Sorry, Carl. Oh, no, I've got it. The worst. Ric Flair. Fuck that man. I absolutely hate him.
Oh, this is public record as well, Ricky.
It's fine. I've said it before. I'm not a fan of Ric Flair whatsoever.
Would you not be interested in his stories?
Hell no.
Because it would just be about that time where he was drunk with Arn Anderson.
Or this time I was drunk and I had sex with this woman. Like, that's fucking great.
What if you just spent the whole lift time wooing at you and like elbow dropping his jacket and stuff, elbow dropping the mats that have been rolled out?
I would take one of said mats and try and strangle myself somehow with it.
I thought you were going to say strangle him there.
I mean, either or.
Oh right, we'll move on.
Or I would take said mat out and pray that something happens to this man while we're in the lift.
You would immediately be a suspect once the lift doors open, though.
It's okay, it'll be worth it. I hate the man.
All right, let's move on before we lose some listeners. My answer, I think I'll steal your best option with Bret Hart. I think he would be a really interesting conversation to have, talking about the good old days, get his scoop on the Montreal Screwjob, his scoop on how badly he was handled in WCW, all that stuff. And can you imagine being stuck in a lift with Ryback? That would be horrific, because he's just going to hit out with that book, The Secret. He'll have that on him at all times, and lots of his supplements that he plugs on his podcast as well. And he'll just sit there and eat protein bars and talk to you about The Secret.
These supplements come with a free needle. That would be hellish to be stuck in a lift with that fucking roided up bastard. Yeah, I'm also not a fan of Ryback.
So Ricky, Ryback and Ric Flair walk into a bar and Ricky just ends himself.
That could happen.
Right. Next scenario. Have you got any?
No.
And want me to just play on? Right. Next one. Your child's, son or daughter's first serious boyfriend or girlfriend. So, best case scenario. You can pick either gender. So look at this from let's go all sort of stereotypical, where you're a father in America, you're living the American dream, and your child gets picked up by their date for the prom. And is this... So obviously, I won't... With two sons, right? Now, are we talking about kayfabe character, or what we think we know of these people on a personal level? Well, I've picked either or. So the ones that I've went for that I like, I've picked kayfabe, and the one that I don't like, it's their real person.
Right. So for my son, someone who I would say I would want them to be with, kayfabe wise, it would be Natalia.
Right. Even though she's a screw job specialist.
She's a lovely woman. Kayfabe, whatever, non-kayfabe. Someone who I wouldn't want them to be with. Eva Marie.
Oh God, aye, that's a good shout actually.
Reason, because I wouldn't want her personality to rub off on my sons and let them think to be mediocre in life is acceptable.
Well, what else can you add to that? Right, I have two options for each, right? So In terms, if my daughter had a man come over, it would be Matt Striker.
And his teacher gimmick.
Yes, because, you know, as I say, I'm going into the mindset that my daughter's been picked up for a first night in the prom. It's actually not. See, when I say it out loud, I don't want my daughter to be going to the prom with her teacher. But what I mean is, he's a man of values. He's well-spoken, level-headed, patient, informative, knowledgeable.
You could have went with Tonga then.
Oh, Christ. Why?
He's a fucking lawyer.
Aye, but I'm going for this is the one I'm going for kayfabe.
Right, okay.
And also put Bailey for good ones because she seems very harmless, very non-dangerous to my child. She wouldn't cause them harm, either emotionally or physically. So those are the two that I've went for that, right? And the worst case scenarios would be CM Punk.
Oh, that's true.
Can you just imagine the shite that he would spout?
That self-centered little bastard.
Because you'd say, "Oh, you're looking forward to going to the prom?" It's like, yeah, I hate proms. I'm just going to, because if I don't, I'll not get my grades and I can't get out of this shithole school. That's the crap he'll come out with.
He's just so negative, but I can't wait for him to return to WWE one day.
And you say, well, okay, fair enough, but surely you're looking forward to the buffet. And then he'll say, no, is he vegan? I think he is.
I think so.
Say, oh no, I'm vegan, I don't eat all that processed bullshit. It's like, right, well, okay, what if you got a little cheeky hip flask where you can spice up the punch that I don't drink? So, oh, for God's sake. Cheer up, pal.
Right, I've got one.
Right.
If you could have any one wrestler, male or female, that you could erase from the history of wrestling, who would it be?
A wrestler?
Or a manager or whatever, that you would erase from the history of wrestling.
So that they were never ever mentioned?
Yep.
Right, so
gone, never thought about,
I can't.
not missed.
I can't pick Benoit, obviously.
Well, we can pick him if you want.
I don't want to. It should be, but let me think. My wife just said there that we're playing a very disturbing game. That's true.
No.
These are the important matters of wrestling fandom that have to be discussed. What was the question? Who would I erase entirely from memory? Sean O'Hare. Because he always... Remember Sean O'Hare?
Vaguely.
He was part of a tag team with Chuck Palumbo in WCW.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
He just came across as an absolute nobody, so why don't we just make him a nobody? Because remember, Roddy Piper was his manager and just didn't work out at all. That's a pretty weak answer, to be fair.
Roddy Piper was great. Who would I...
See,
who would I erase?
Well, you think about that. I've got another.
I already know my answer. Go on, you go.
I've got another worst case scenario for someone coming to pick up my child for a prom date. Would be Tamina Snuka.
Oh, right, okay.
Because
of who her daddy is.
So the child would say, "Here's my date." Tamina is like, "Oh, so your dad's a murderer."
Right, do you know who I would erase from my history of wrestling? Ric Flair.
Well, yes. I thought
never would we need to hear the fucking woo or all that other fucking nonsense that comes along with him.
But see if you erase Ric Flair from history, that means you also erase Charlotte Flair from history.
No, I don't.
Well, how was she born then?
Right, Ric Flair the man can still exist. Ric Flair the wrestler doesn't exist. Okay.
Well, this game isn't really about logic, so we'll just move on to the next one. What was right, this is our first date.
Say that again?
This is who our first date would be.
Mine and yours?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure you want to answer that question with your wife in the room?
It's all hypothetical.
Right, how about you pick for me and I'll pick for you?
Oh, so who would yours be? Right, we've got to guess who it is. Who would yours be? Let me think. Over the whole course of
If you want,
of
either
history. Oh God, that's actually quite hard to think who yours would be. Let me think. Oh, I'm trying to remember who like you've had crushes on. I would say Lana. That's not who you would pick.
Nah.
Right, who would you pick then?
It definitely would be her. I'm trying to think.
I hope you're all playing along at home, guys. And girls.
Who would it be? I honestly, I can't think who it would be.
Well, who would your worst date be?
Oh, Eva Marie. Because to be honest, like if I feel like if I sat and have a conversation with her, I feel like I would get dumber and dumber by the second.
You are burying that lady badly tonight. It would be one of those conversations where you keep trying to start the conversation and she's got one or two word answers and you're like, keep checking your watch and the starters haven't even arrived yet.
Let me see. For you, current, I would say Nikki Cross, but nah.
Nikki Cross is too manic.
I know. Let me see.
You can't take Nikki Cross to a restaurant because she would take all the bread rolls and just throw them about the restaurant and jump on the maitre d'.
Yup. Let me see for you. You know exactly the criteria that I need when I'm trying to think.
I've went for a safe option.
Who have you went for?
You tell me who you think first.
I know, but I'm just trying to think of someone who would match this criteria that I've got for you.
Right.
Modern day Sunny. Can you see why I would say that?
Uh-huh. I've not got... I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't jump at the chance of saying yes, though.
No. She's... for me, I don't know.
I think Renee Young's a safe bet.
I suppose.
Well, she knows her wrestling. She can tell you all the secrets about Dean, even though this is her first date and she's married to Dean, so that doesn't make sense.
Have you got anything else?
Any other scenarios?
Yep.
I've got two more.
On you go.
Right, who would be your best case scenario and your worst case scenario of podcast hosts?
Oh my. Right, so someone to do a podcast alongside.
Or it can be, like, for instance, Edge and Christian, they do a podcast.
Oh, right, I took that question completely the wrong way there. I thought you were implying, like, I don't know why you thought this, but people that we know, like non-wrestlers. Now, that would have been an interesting question. Right, best... I would maybe say either Big E or Xavier.
So, a New Day podcast?
Yes. I think Xavier Woods would be quite good.
See, they've just rehashed the same gimmick for years. There wouldn't be much new material, would there?
No, but like, see when you watch his kind of up, down videos and his YouTube channels, that he seems really funny. Worst, it would be Ric Flair.
He had his own podcast as well.
Thank God I never listened to that.
Well, I've went for a one where you have different guests on every week, and Otis Dozovich is the host.
Yeah, different guests on every week.
So he interviews other wrestlers from NXT.
Yep. And your worst?
I went for a double act of Jeff Hardy and Sting.
Why Sting?
Because he's a wee bit boring, is he not?
But you'd imagine he'd have some great stories, though.
I know, but the reason for the start of their podcast would be that they were talking about the controversial match that Jeff Hardy had.
Oh, I mean, Jeff Hardy could well turn up to this podcast either high, drunk, or just not turn up at all.
Or tries to swanton bomb onto the recording gear and hurts his back. I mean, he's the charismatic enigma, but have you ever listened to him in a podcast?
No, thankfully not. No, in fact, I heard him on the Edge and Christian one, where him and Matt Hardy were on it.
Well, Matt Hardy saved that one.
Aye, because he was in character for half the time.
But Jeff just comes across as a sort of bore, a snooze fest, and Sting as well. I mean, Sting's a great guy. He's done a lot for the business, but I don't know. He's not got much going for him, has he?
We are literally just burying the legends of the business tonight.
Yeah, Eva Marie, shocking. Right, have you got any more before I hit my last one?
No, I don't.
Right, last one. Who would be your best and worst president of the USA, or it could be a leader of whatever country, depending on the wrestler that you pick?
Best, it would be. Right, the worst I think would be Nikki Cross. She would literally be leading us into war every other week with different countries. Mm-hmm. And we're a tiny little island.
And she would be doing the public appearances for, like, say, the grand opening of a school, and she's just jumping about the playground and ripping it to shreds.
The best? Kane?
That's just because they won a wee mayoral campaign.
I know, but as president, he would need to be in the Kane late 90s gimmick.
The big right machine?
Yep. Oh, God. Oh, God.
And they would obviously need to do the thing as well where whenever he comes out to the podium's got the wee fire streamers, so he does the big bang and stuff.
On you go.
I would go for The Rock, possibly because he has teased his intentions about running for the presidency. But that guy can cut a promo. Can you imagine him during the debates?
He'd be coming out with like wrestling puns.
Aye. And like say for instance it was against, I don't know, just for Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's hitting out with all these policies, and The Rock says, "What's your name again?" And he says, "My name." "It doesn't matter what your name is." And every time he does a tour, he does the finally, The Rock has come back to the White House.
Oh. This is just descending to chaos.
It has. What about your worst president?
Nikki Cross, is it?
Oh, so you did. Well, it's obviously Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's true.
The lies that he spouts, the constant and desperate attempts to put himself over, so he'll be doing all the sort of photo opportunities with people that he cares not one jot about, just to make himself relevant again, and his inherent racism as well. So Hulk Hogan would just be a disaster of a president.
That man would take America back to the 50s.
Oh, he could be Mr. America again, actually.
Oh, when he has that fucking mask on, everyone like, oh, who is it? Even though his mad, stupid fucking mustache handlebar popping through.
And he could come down with the sort of red, white and blue, see the cobra thing that he wears? The cobra.
I hate that man as well.
Do you think he would be interested in a lift?
No, because he would just keep talking about himself. He would just keep talking about himself.
I just make up stuff.
He would just be making up stuff.
Aye.
Absolutely not. I mean, also, some of these stories backstage would be quite interesting, but there's also that inherent chance that he's just going to stand there and start saying racist things to me. No, I don't like him either.
No, not a fan, to say the very least.
But I wasn't a fan. You know, I've not been a fan of him even before all this, the racist video and stuff came out.
That's true. You seem to have it in for WCW guys.
No, he was a WWE guy, WWF guy. No, not at all.
Aye, but
like guys like Jericho and Guerrero and fine. Like I know we shouldn't talk about Benoit, etc. But all those guys were fucking unbelievable in the ring. Ray. Even I like Big Show.
I know, but you've got a lot of hate for Ric Flair, NWO.
Ric Flair's just an egotistical absolute.
Stop. Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. Did you like Diesel and Razor Ramon?
No, I didn't.
Alright, okay.
I didn't.
X-Pac?
Wasn't too fussed about them.
Oh, I could not go that man whatsoever.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H, yeah, I liked. China, I liked.
They weren't in WCW.
Well, I know, I'm just saying.
Was
about DX.
Terra Rising.
No, WCW guys, like when Goldberg first came in, like, when he, even in WCW days, that was fucking unbelievable, some of the stuff you saw then.
And Sting.
Sting, I've always liked Sting.
But it would be quite boring to talk to backstage.
It probably would be.
That's quite harsh of me, isn't it?
It is, because he's an absolute legend.
Right, that concludes the best and worst case scenarios, and that was a best and worst case scenario if there ever was one. please give us a pay-per-view to preview next time. Right, I've got another wee game. One more, and then we'll do the quiz. Right. So, I've got the roster up. The current WWE roster. It can be older ones as well. For both Raw, SmackDown, NXT, 205 Live, it's all there, and we're going to try our best to throw together a couple of single superstars and give them really bad tag team names. For instance, we see the likes of all the names that we get in the Mixed Match Challenge and stuff like that, so this might be hard to do off the top. Let me see. Right, let's pick Naomi and Maurice because they're next to each other.
So what is it? We're supposed to come up with names for the tag team? Naomi and Maurice.
Oh, this is dreadful. I should not have brought this up at all.
No. White chocolate? What?
French? Is there such a thing as French chocolate?
French chocolate? There might be, I don't know.
There's Belgian chocolate, but it's just because Maurice is...
I really hope we've not offended folk by just saying this.
It's too late. It's live, did you not know that?
Yeah, might need to double check with some of our buddies to see if we can say this kind of stuff.
Right, well, I've got one for you, right? So you've got Tiger, Ali Singh and Xavier Woods.
Why?
Tiger Woods.
Oh, okay. And their gimmick is that they cheat on their partners and have an absolute fall from grace.
And every time that they're in the golf cart, they keep crashing it.
Fucking love Tiger Woods. I'm so happy he won on Sunday.
What was that tournament that he won?
It was just a PGA tour. It was his first PGA tour win in 5 years. It was like, obviously the Ryder Cup starts in a couple of days on Friday, so perfect time for him and Americans. But that photo I sent into the WhatsApp group, that was the 18th. Like, the photo doesn't really do it justice. Like, you need to see it live or video of it. It's as if people are just descending from everywhere, running after him on the 18th hole. Scenes were unbelievable.
I'm trying to think. I'm just looking at some of these names here. I'm trying to think. Who wears a suit? Who's famed for wearing a suit at all times?
Constable Corbin now.
Right, so you could team Constable Corbin up with Shelton Benjamin, and they could be called The Curious Case of Benjamin Buttons.
Okay.
Have you got the roster up as well? Because I feel as if I'm dying on my arse right now.
Yeah, I'm looking through it just now.
Oh, I've got a great one. Kofi Kingston and Booker T. And their gimmick is that they are waiters in a diner and they say tea or coffee.
I feel like that one might get a few pops.
It could do. I'm running. Funnily enough, I'm managing to avoid my joke for the week.
Are you waiting for it at the end of the show?
Mm-hmm.
Good God.
Let me see.
We've got, what about Truth and Carmella?
Right.
Black Money.
I like it. That's actually quite good.
Thanks. Although it implies that they're doing something like illegal.
And it's a bit on the nose as well, considering how R-Truth is portraying himself in his music these days.
Oh, Truth's excellent. So good.
You could have Sin Cara and Carmella together as Caramella. We've done the Kane and Gable one before.
Yep. I'm looking through the roster as well.
Try to think who you could have a. This isn't exactly this isn't a tag team or a stable or anything, but Ty Dillinger, who could have a gimmick where his specialty is triple threat matches, and his name's Three-Way Ty.
For fuck's sake, that's terrible.
And Becky Lynch could form a stable to take on the Riot Squad. And it could be called the Lynch Mob.
I feel like is that not something already?
What, the Lynch Mob? Don't know.
Let's go to NXT.
Yes, I'm in NXT just now, so we've got Wesley Blake, Velveteen Dream, Tucker Knight. Oney Lorcan, Nick Miller. Do you know what? Should we just stop this bit?
Yep.
Right. I do apologise, ladies and gents. That was horrendous. I think
we literally have nothing to talk about this week.
I know. So it's going to be a short one. Will we do the quiz? Or is there anything else you want to bring to the table? Ideas for the network, stuff like that.
Ideas for the network? The WWE network? They need to. I was actually talking to Caleb earlier on. They need to bring King of the Ring back, but bring it back like in a meaningful manner. Do they though? Because there are plenty of tournaments throughout the year. Now, I was a fan of King of the Ring, but you've got the Mae Young Classic, you've got tag team tournaments.
all the time on SmackDown, it seems.
I know, but like, there's somewhere you could fit it in quite easily.
Where?
You don't need to go to Saudi Arabia twice.
That's true. You could have a special... Oh my god. Now they had... What was the boxing thing they did years ago?
Oh, I remember when it was...
Brawl for All.
Oh, yeah. Who was it? Bart Gunn won it, didn't he? And then got his ass handed to him by Butterbean.
Aye. Well, you could have the wrestling show but they actually wrestle in ice skates.
What?
So obviously you need to be very balanced and good with ice skates, and it could be called King of the Rink.
Oh.
I'm
Jeez.
sorry. Right, let's do the quiz, eh?
Was that your joke of the week?
No.
Oh, God.
I've had a few jokes tonight, and the last one, I'll save it for the end.
Yes, please.
Right, so here goes quiz time.
It's fucking quiz time with Ricky and Clive and friends. A fucking WWE quiz.
So it's my turn for the quiz this week. I have 10 questions, and there are a total possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 24 points available to you.
24?
Mm-hmm. The last one might be a toughie. So number 1, how many times has Brie Bella been the Divas champion?
Divas?
Yes.
Has she ever won it? We'll go with 1.
Correct answer. Well done.
I don't even remember it, to be honest.
During the women's invasion... Yeah, neither do I. Could have been Nikki, though, because they're twins. They've been twins. It's GBL one too. What was it? It was the Usos. Was it Tom Phillips or Morrow that was talking about the Usos? They've got a really good chemistry together, and JBL said, aye, they've been twins for a long time. During the women's invasion angle, like the women's revolution thing that happened in 2015, who was the third member of Team Bella?
Was that when Stephanie was in the ring and she was announcing? Alicia Fox.
Oh, correct again. 2 for 2 so far. You're doing well. What two titles did Perry Saturn hold in his time with WWE? That's actually 25 points available tonight. So WWE, Perry Saturn.
So is this worth 2 points?
It is.
Okay. He was definitely a hardcore champion, at least once.
Correct.
So he never won any of the other big ones, though. Did they have a TV title?
Not in WWE, they've not.
Right, well, it must be the other one then, the European one.
Correct. Oh, 4 points out of 4 so far. Sterling works.
See, this is what happens when I don't need to compete against someone. I'm allowed to think.
Number 4. How many titles did Carlito Cool hold in his time with WWE?
Carlito.
Now, I'm not asking for what they were. If you just give me a number.
Just how many?
So how many reigns did he have as a champion?
I said probably it's going to be a guess.
That's fine.
I know he held both the US and the IC. Sorry, did you say number of reigns or just how many titles?
Well, like, how many championships has he held? It's not a case of he's held the IC title 20 times and the US title 14 times. Just how many reigns has he had as a champion?
3.
Correct answer. So he's held the IC, the US, and
the tag.
Unified tags, yes.
Who was it? Was it Primo or one of them? One of them.
Primo, yeah. This is an anagram of a wrestler.
God.
Testes action unsolved.
Say that again?
Testes action unsolved. I'll give you a clue. The person's nickname is also in this.
Testes action unsolved, did you say?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to write this out.
Yes, please do. Do you want me to show you? I've typed it. Oh, I can't show you. I can. I've typed it up if you want me to show you.
Yep.
Right. Let's see if you can see that. You can't see it at all, can you?
Nah.
Just type it out then.
Testes action unsolved.
Now, there is no rhyme or reason or order to those words. They just have the same letters once you mix them up of a certain wrestler. And it has the wrestler's nickname in the title. Would you like another clue?
Yes, please, because we wouldn't have filled up something dead air.
The clue is the nickname is at the start of this whole name.
Test?
No, not the clue. The wrestler's name has their nickname at the start. Testes action unsolved. And don't worry about the dead air because there's been plenty of that tonight.
Nah, I don't know who it is at all.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I've got one more anagram for you.
Oh, right, on you go.
Sasha Watkins. Now, if you type that out and just look at it, look at the prominent letters involved in that.
Sasha Watkins.
Trying to give you a clue. They had another ring name where the ring name was a type of food. Sasha Watkins. I wonder if that was a name that Sasha Banks had which went to the cutting floor.
Sasha Watkins.
Would you like another clue?
Yes, please.
He has wrestled for both WCW and WWF.
Right, you said F.
Yes. That wasn't intentional, but yes.
No idea.
Sean Stasiak.
Oh.
Numbers, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 out of 6.
4 out of 6. Still not bad. What was Jim Cornette's last televised appearance on WWE TV?
Last?
Yes, the last time he was on an on-screen character. So forget about the OVW stuff and all the Hall of Fame stuff he's done recently, like as part of a show. Feel free to guess.
So does the Raw? Was it at the Raw earlier on this year? Does that count?
No, it doesn't actually. So, well, it technically does. So I will give you the point.
Alright, okay. So what was the other answer?
It was the gimmick battle royal at Mania 17. But I'll give you the point because that is correct. I think he was playing poker or something.
Maybe. I think he was definitely there anyway.
Number 8. Who has held the title more, like the world or universal or whatever it is, right? The main event title. Kevin Owens with the Universal Championship or Jinder Mahal? Who held it the longest?
Like days, do you mean?
Well, they've only had like one reign, so who held it the longest? Kevin Owens or Jinder Mahal?
Right. So KO. When the hell did he win it? When did Kevin Owens win it?
Oh, you remember fine well when he won it.
I know when he won it. I'm trying to think of the general time frame. Like, obviously know what happened, but because Jinder won it like a month after WrestleMania, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact he won it, did not win it the very next pay-per-view.
I think it might
anyway.
be the next SmackDown pay-per-view, aye.
And held it all the way through to November. Hold on, right, 26. Jinder's held it longer.
No, sorry.
Damn.
Jinder Mahal held the WWE title for 170 days, and Kevin Owens was the Universal Champion for 189 days.
Because KO won it like the last week in August and then lost it at the pay-per-view between Royal Rumble and Mania.
Fastlane.
And then Jinder won it like the month after Mania and held it all the way through to like November.
You're talking 3 weeks, there's not much in it there.
Damn.
This is another who held the title for the longest. The world title, The Miz or Seth Rollins?
Ooh.
So, you remember when The Miz was the champion?
Mm-hmm. That was the year he faced Cena.
It was. I was surprised at this answer. Dead air.
Yep, I know.
No, I'm just singing Dead Air. This won't go down in the history books as the best ever episode of the podcast.
No.
But we got to bury Eva Marie in great fashion earlier. Just have it.
Seth.
Correct. 220 days to the Miz's 160. That's quite a difference, actually.
I know.
I thought the Miz held it for longer, longer than
he
Seth.
won it. I think he won it quite late on in the year, though.
Yeah, I thought it was earlier on in 2010. Right, last question. This is where there's 15 points available. On the main roster, both Raw and SmackDown, how many wrestlers that are there just now are former TNA wrestlers? Well, not how many, because I just told you there's 15 points available. Name them.
So, is it any format of TNA? So it's TNA or Impact? Because
Yep, any of them.
On the main roster only?
And I'll give you Kurt Angle just now, because although he's not on the TV at the moment, he has been in very recent times, so...
Right, so I need 14 more?
You need 14 more.
AJ.
Okay.
Joe.
Okay.
EC3.
Main roster only.
Oh, that's right, sorry. So, you need to tell me if this one's acceptable or not, because he's technically, I don't think he's ever had a match. Drake Maverick.
Yes, I've got him down.
You're going to give me him? Right, okay.
Because he is
So we have a name there? 3.
He is main roster at the moment. He was in his first Raw main event on Monday night there.
Does Jeff Hardy count?
Of course he does.
Right, okay. Just because I'm wondering if you're thinking it's just like homegrown TNA guys, right? So that's at 4.
Jeff Hardy might not remember wrestling in TNA, but we do.
Matt Hardy, I don't know if he's retired or not.
Okay, I'll give you 15 then, because he's just recently been involved. So back to 15 points available.
Right, let me see. Bobby Roode.
Yep, that's 6. Is that right?
Yep. Drew.
Yes, correct. Drew McIntyre.
Love that man. Let me see, is there any female? I want to say there aren't any female wrestlers.
There are 3. 3
female wrestlers?
Yep. Now this one isn't currently on TV, but they're still sort of active roster members.
God, there are 3 women.
So I've got 8 from you so far.
I might need to come back to the women then.
Okay. So you've told me Drew, Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle, AJ, Jeff, Samoa Joe.
Do you say Bobby Roode?
Yeah, Matt Hardy as well.
Maverick.
And Maverick, that's 8. Matt Hardy and Maverick, so I've got 8 from you.
So I'm allowed to say 205 guys as well then?
I've not included them.
Right, okay.
Who were you going to say?
I was just going to try and think.
TJP's been in TNA.
Yep.
He was.
The women?
Did you know he was Suicide in TNA?
Yeah. Xavier.
9, yep. Starting to get to the tough ones. There might be one that you'll kick yourself with.
How many wrong answers am I allowed to guess?
5.
No, I don't think he was, but I'll try it. Kurt Hawkins?
Not to my knowledge.
Who the fuck were the women?
One of them surprised me, but it made sense.
Mickey James?
Correct. That's you up to 10.
Mike Kanellis.
11.
What the hell's his wife name? Marie?
12. Oh, you've got 3 more to get.
Right, so I've just named 2 women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One of them you think, why the hell did I not say this?
I was going to say Apollo Crews, but I don't think he has.
No.
Who is this other woman? Eric Young.
Eric Young. Oh, I've actually got a few more here. I don't know what my math says right now, but I have ones that you haven't mentioned. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 left, including a woman.
Truth.
Well done. 3 left.
I said guess, but I don't think this is right. Shelton Benjamin.
He has not. He turned them down. So that's two wrong answers from you. You're doing very well, by the way.
I fucking like to think I would be, because I used to love TNA Impact back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling one of the Sings did, but I'm not sure.
I didn't count them if they were.
Alright.
But something about that rings a bell for some reason.
I'm probably getting them confused with Sonjay Dutt, I think. My goodness. Brian Kendrick? No, he's 205. Who the hell's the other woman?
You've got 3 more guesses.
No, he hasn't.
Well, I'll give you a clue to one of them.
Mm-hmm.
They ran for office.
Rhino.
Correct. 2 more.
So, and one of them are a woman?
Uh-huh.
Who the fuck is a woman?
And the other one you go, why on earth did I not say that first?
Lashley.
Yes. Oh, it's just down to the woman.
Who is the woman?
I can't really think of a decent clue to give you.
So it was Mickey and every Natalia hasn't, Jax hasn't, Bella's haven't, Alexa Bliss hasn't, Renee hasn't, Ruby Riot, Liv.
Yeah, I checked.
Say again?
I checked for Ruby Riot, but she's not been there.
What brand is she on?
SmackDown.
So Iconics, Carmella, Asuka.
I'm wondering if you even know that this person was in TNA.
Is she a wrestler or is she an interviewer?
Wrestler.
Tamina?
I don't know, but that's not who I've got.
I don't think it's Sonya Deville either. It's not. It's not one of the Iconics. It's not Paige. It's not Maurice. Not Lana.
Are you looking at the thing just now?
No, who the hell's the woman on SmackDown? I feel like I've just named them all.
You've not.
Who the fuck am I missing? Who am I missing?
Tamina.
Right, may as well tell me because this is.
Zelina Vega.
She was in TNA?
Ah, I thought you didn't know. Yes.
What the fuck was she doing in TNA?
That's a good question.
Not in that sense, like, I don't remember. Let me Google this, that's who the fuck she was in TNA.
She was in a shoot relationship with Austin Aries, if you remember.
Oh shit, she was in there for a while.
She was. That's how she came over.
Damn.
Her name is Tia Megan Trinidad.
I see her. Oh well.
What was her name in TNA?
That's the other was Trinidad. What did you say it was?
In that Mexican America thing.
Oh wait, Rosita.
Rosita. So it was. Well, you did very, very, very well there.
Thanks.
Like, it took a long time, but you got there eventually. I thought that would take a long
That's
time.
what I'm saying. That's the kind of things that happen when I'm given time.
Mm-hmm.
But when the likes of Rance and Sir Sam come on the show and they just absolutely annihilate me, it's kind of embarrassing.
Sir Sam
he
killed you.
humiliated me.
Are you going to hold that against him forever?
No, not at all. Love him. He was an absolute delight.
He was.
He really was, actually.
Right.
Andy woke up and shook the clock just to come on for us.
So, that brings us finally to the end of this episode. A Oh, please give us a screw job or something next week. I suppose we've got the Super Showdown to preview, but that's... anything you want to plug?
No.
Okay, I've got a couple of things I want to plug. As with the usual stuff, you can find us on the Social Suplex Podcast Network, alongside podcasts such as One Nation Radio, Keepin It Strong Style, ourselves, Outsider's Edge, Grown Men Watch This Shit. I tried to go in order of the week there, but I got mixed up somewhere. You can find us at Ricky and Clive on Twitter and Facebook. And with regards to Facebook, we're in the Wrestling Squared Circle Facebook group. With the podcasts, make sure to leave us a 5-star review on the podcast app of your choice. We do columns, 205 Live columns. We've got Tom doing the NXT columns. You can subscribe to those at socialsuplex.com with a handy subscribe button that takes you straight into your email inbox. And I've actually started doing a separate 205 Live series presented by the Doc Chad Matthews on lordsofpain.net, with the 100th episode of 205 Live fast approaching. I have decided to celebrate that with a wee rundown and a five column series looking at the top 10 wrestlers in 205 Live's short history. Not many wrestlers to pick from, but it's been enjoy writing it so far. I think that's us for this week, Ricky. I've got that joke for you now.
On you go.
So, Primo is injured again.
Okay.
The Colon brother, he's injured, and Epico is quite sad, but he's able to get he's able to go into the Mixed Match Challenge, and his tag partner is everyone's favourite Bella, sisters Brie. Right, so their name is going to be Brimo and Epico. I'm laughing at that more than you.
I'm not laughing at all. Like some of the other ones during the show were good, but that was not your best work.
Benjamin Buttons.
You had a few actually.
I can't remember them, and I won't be listening back to this. I'll tell you that right now.
Bigging ourselves up here.
The best and worst case scenarios was quite good.
I know. It was alright.
Well, you write SmackDown and Raw better then.
Well, I don't think it'd be that hard.
It wouldn't actually.
Nah, Raw was decent, no.
Raw was decent. And SmackDown was just fair to middling.
Like I say, it's just we've just got nothing really happening this moment in time. But like I said, next week we'll have the Aussie show to talk about. Yep.
Okay, thanks for listening, and sorry for listening as well.
Take care, people.
Speak to you next week. Night.
Thank you for listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Podcast. We'll see you next time.